Alright, what's up everyone? So, as promised, I finally am getting to the Devil Jin video. And you may be wondering, if you're new to the channel, why I chose the right side. Well, this is to be as beginner friendly as possible. So, to start off, if you look at the top screen, you'll see we have the Electric Wind Godfist, in which you must simultaneously do all those inputs. So the thing about this input is that you have to go forward, then you have to press nothing for a fraction of a second, and then down forward, as well as the right punch simultaneously. But you get something like this. Well, bad example. Regular Godfist. Sorry. So that is an electric. It's very difficult to do. The reason why I am starting with this is simply because if you plan on playing this character, there is a way to play him simply without having to perform these moves that take for this very intricate input. But the one thing you would want to practice that you might hear a ton of us talk about is the wave. And that is what you get when you perform the forward, neutral, down, forward, is that. So you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I've played Street Fighter before. Yeah, that's just Dragon Punch. But you don't get it when you do the Dragon Punch input, if you look at the bottom of the screen. So the best way to do this input easily your first time around is to just literally try and just wiggle between down and forward as fast as you can. It is not about speed though, keep that in mind, but if you're just starting out, speed is your best friend with learning this move. Now, what are some good tools that Devil Jin has that will help you learn him fairly easily? Well, first you have the back forward at 17 frames, which is pretty decent. It is not that bad on block. If they do block it, you can follow up with the 1-1-2 series. After which you also have the 2-2 series, which you can also follow up with. And it's a bit of an intricate move, so if you pick and then they block, they will then have to guess for a duck. But the guessing game doesn't stop there, because this is a launcher on counter hit, the down forward 2. So the guessing games don't really stop with this character. And so some of you might be like, hey, why don't you just get to the combos already? Well, because with this character, it's not that simple. Another good move that this character has is his back 3. Now this move is very slow, but from the right distance, I would say from about at least range 2 to 3, you get pretty decent distance simply because he lunges forward. So if you're ever feeling pressured by an opponent who just can't seem to get out of your face and you end up getting like some distance from them, I'd say about right here, that'd be about the perfect distance, simply because they'll follow right into it, especially if they're being very aggressive or playing, you know, a Mishima character and then they want to get in your face and wavy. So there's that. Also, you have this move, which is the up forward 2 for a hard knockdown. It also screws on airborne opponents and on counter hit. Well, if they're airborne, I forgot that they changed it. There's a lot of changes this season. Excuse me on that one. but a pretty decent move with a startup of 20 frames, so it's not as slow as this move. So if you have a little distance, you need to get, you know, out of dodge, and you're like, oh no, the back 3 didn't work, do the up forward 2. The up forward 2 will definitely work, especially if they're being aggressive and then stepping in your face. And it reaches some range too. So now you might be like, hey, alright, is it time for the combos? Well, one of the simple moves, and the reason why we're still keeping the electric on screen, is the Hell Sweep, the infamous move that has given people nightmares for many, many years. And what is that, you might ask? Is the same input as the electric, but the difference is you're going to use your right kick instead of your right punch. Now this leads to a full launcher, and you might be like, okay, well, I see people always do the launcher, so how exactly do I do the spinning attack, which some people call it, and it's actually 3-ring circus, and that is just done with 1 plus 4. So it is your left punch plus your right kick. You can set it to a button. That's what I have mine set to. And the easiest thing you can do to launch someone with that attack is to just hit them with that 3 rings and then back 2-3. So that is an option, and that's a pretty simple, easy combo. Now, if you want to do something a little bit harder, you would just add the electric into that. So you add a jab, throw that, and then, you know, you either get a regular wind fist or an electric. Electric will yield you more damage. So you gotta dash just a little bit for this combo. So there's that. Another option as well, say if you're on a floor break stage, which I will cover in another video, on the importance of saving your screw attack or toe whip, whichever you prefer to call it, is to do this and then do down 1 plus 2. Now the down 1 plus 2 move by itself is pretty decent, and it leads to a free laser. I always mix up the input for him and Kazuya. It leads to a free laser, grounded. Excuse the dogs in the background. But on counter hit, you will get that for free. That is free 45 damage. You can only do the low laser when your opponent is grounded. So that right there is another simple and easy combo to use with a rather almost difficult character. But remember though that this character is almost easily steppable, but don't be dissuaded. His tracking moves are very good, as this is a tracking move and that covers his weak side, which is his right side. This is a tracking move, it covers the same weak side, and that is just, you know, forward 3. So there's that. You don't want to try and heavily focus on, you know, the Weibo inputs starting out with this character. That is a bad idea. But if you do want to get far with this character, I suggest starting with the health suit. On top of that too, it's no shame in trying to go for that attack either. In which, again, you can, that locked up really bad. You can get that off of a combo. It's rather difficult. is rather difficult because they want you to use his new move, which I do enjoy, which makes it a little bit easier. So we have back to 3, but you can do back to 1 and hold up when the 1 connects. If you don't, you get that. So if you can't get the hard one, like we just couldn't for some reason, we can just go for the easy one. And if that happens, you can also just use up forward too. Just as a reminder. So just keep that in mind, that back to 1. You can also do that off of that, but it is not much damage. So say you are newer to Tekken, but you also are used to fighting games, then by all means go for the electric. You'll have better combos. And just to give you an example of those combos, we will do a fairly simple one that I don't mind. Oops. It is locking up really bad today. Into Heaven's Gate. And that is for 60 damage, major damage. So, yeah. As far as what you want to do on the wall with Devil Jin, you can Weiwu and cancel into forward 1+2. That is a wall bounce move. After wall bounce, you want to use the forward 4, which also screws. And you can also get it off counter hit. So, whoop. Whoop. Whoa. So that's a bit of a harder combo there, what I was doing. But that combo itself can also be added to the simple one as well. It's a little bit harder off of that, but the easy one is that for 64 damage. And that move is a mix-up as well. And this move is a forward move. And it is 4-4-3, 1, 2, or 4-4-3, 1, 4, or 4-4-3, 1, 3. It's a mix-up. They have to guess if you're going high, mid, or low. It is up to you what you press after you press X and square right after you do forward. So with that being said, this character is very great. One last tip as well is to learn the back forward 2-1 series, which is the laser scraper. This move is also a mix-up, as if you hold down, you will get a launcher, and it ramps up for massive damage. I want to try and get this before I end the video. Uh-oh. Hello? You get the point, but I will give it one more go. And then you guys will have the gist of this. One more go. And then you guys will have the gist of this character. Come on, game. You get the point, though. I'm just getting launched out so bad because I have lost my timing from not playing for a couple months. But I hope you enjoy the video. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go over on Twitch, hit that follow button. I hope I did help you out, as this is one of my highest ranked characters, if you feel as though that you need to pick him up. Other than that, I'm the True Crazy, or the True Crazy. I'll probably see you guys later in the stream. It's not goodbye, it's just peace out. Peace out.